Okay, hi everybody. I'm gonna give it just a second, let some people join. I think I clicked the button a little too quick there today, but nothing too crazy. Um, anyways, hi, my name's Alyssa. I'm the head of marketing here at Headliner, and we like to do this power hour every week here on YouTube. It's really just a way for us to kind of show you what's new with Headliner, get connected, answer any questions you may have. As you can see, I'm kind of flying solo today, so I'll do my best to monitor the chat and make sure that all of your questions are answered in a timely manner. If I don't, so sorry. I will do my best to reach out afterwards and make sure that we get all of those questions addressed. But without further ado, let's go ahead and kind of get into it. So last week we had a little bit of technical difficulties, unfortunately, so we were not able to do the Headliner Power Hour last week, which unfortunately was our birthday celebration. So we'll kind of be doing that a little bit today, doing a little bit of a longer power hour, perhaps, kind of doing more intentional workflows and kind of full workflows for how to use the Headliner Creative Suite. But just really quickly getting things started, we did release a blog post kind of recapping all of the things that we've done together over our past 7 years. Crazy to think that Headliner's been here for now 7 years. What a wild ride it's truly been, and we're excited to see what comes next. But definitely be sure to head on over to our blog and check that out. And then regarding what we're going to be going over today, we're going to be going over Headliner things. So I'll be showing you all of the use cases that Headliner can help you to do in the Creative Suite. So of course, we'll be looking at our famous audiogram tool, how to clip and caption and handle video projects, as well as how to kind of edit, transcribe, and then of course further market all of your content, whether that's going to be on YouTube, social media, or just heck, even getting it uploaded into your actual host dashboard. So I am going to try and switch tabs. We'll see how this one goes. I'll do present. Again, bear with me. We're trying our best here. Sorry, you're probably going to see infinite screen here as I try and do this. Yeah, there it is. Ooh, okay. Let's cancel this out. So sorry. Okay, now you should be seeing a screen that looks like Headliner. So to access your Headliner account or to create a Headliner account, it's totally free. You'll just visit make.headliner.app. And once you answer just a few questions, you'll be kind of placed at a spot that looks like this. This is going to be your account dashboard. So it'll kind of let you do all of the things that you can do in Headliner. So we will be, like I said, just going over kind of our top use cases and all of the wonderful things that you can do in Headliner. So I'm going to actually kind of start backwards from what the agenda was. This is the workflow that I use. In my opinion, it is one of the more streamlined approaches if you are using Headliner post-publishing. If you've already published your episode, though, to YouTube or to your host, wherever, probably disregard this. But again, if you're just looking to kind of create all of your promotional content ahead of time or get as much bang for your buck here in Headliner, this is the workflow that I would recommend doing. So again, log into Headliner, make.headliner.app, and you're actually going to go and click on this pink transcribe button right here. So I know it says transcribe, but you can do so many more things in here. So this is going to open up our transcript-based editor called Eddie. And Eddie, it definitely started out as a transcription tool, but it very quickly evolved into being kind of your podcasting assistant. So yeah, you can even see here, your personal podcast assistant. So anyways, Eddie, you can do a lot of things in it. So you can create kind of single projects. So especially if you're looking for all of your pre-published stuff, I would definitely recommend clicking into this flow, and we'll definitely walk through this. But if you are looking to kind of further optimize stuff that you've already done, so whether that's going to be on your host or if you have YouTube and you want to get all of those wonderful little nuggets kind of for your back catalog, I would actually recommend going ahead and setting up an automation, and we'll run through that really quickly. Both of these look similar. It's just going to kind of be the difference of how you use them at the end. So anyways, we'll go ahead and set up a transcription automation. So you'll go ahead and click get started here. And this is going to unfortunately only be for audio first content right now. So if you're doing video, or if you have YouTube right now, this is only going to be applicable to that audio content. But the cool thing is that you can kind of repurpose and reuse a lot of these things. So anyways, I went ahead and set up the Headliner podcast. So I'm actually going to do a test one so I don't flood Eddie with all sorts of projects here. But right now we see we just have one episode to test. You'll go ahead and select your language. So Eddie does support over 100 different languages. So if you're not recording in US English, good news is it's probably supported. So just go ahead and click that drop down and find the language in which you record. And there's a bunch of different options and kind of levers that you can pull here. So this is really going to help you to kind of optimize your projects, optimize your content. So if you already have everything named, it's going to, Eddie's going to pull in that name dynamically. So if you have your episode name already, I would actually recommend going ahead and toggling this off. This is going to tell Eddie to create up to 5 different SEO friendly names for that project. So it's going to be kind of replacing your title in essence. But what's also really cool about it is this is going to inform the naming conventions of all of your files, which again is great for SEO. So if you want to maybe test different titles for your back catalog, maybe go ahead and leave it toggled on. But if you did all of the dirty work already and you named your podcast episode, I just go ahead and toggle this off right now. No need to reinvent the wheel. Again, depending on what your goals are, you might want to leave this on, leave it off. If you're looking to upload your back catalog to YouTube, I'd probably go ahead and leave it on. And if you have already edited everything, I would go ahead and toggle this off. You don't want to pull anything out that you intentionally left in. So sometimes people like leaving those filler words in. I certainly do. So I typically tend to toggle this off. This, however, you're definitely going to want to leave on. So this is going to give you all sorts of branded social captions, blog posts, newsletters, everything, again, from that back catalog. So I'd go ahead and leave that on, and we'll see kind of what that affects here in the next step. So anyways, I'll go ahead and click continue with these settings. I'm going to do back catalog. So I only have one, so this won't take very long. But if you have hundreds of episodes, Eddie will go back and it will process all of those episodes. Oh, excuse me, my recording partner, Coda, is trying to hop up into the screen here. But that'll kind of go back and do the entire back catalog for you, as well as all of your future episodes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that so I kind of don't have to tell Eddie to do it again. But awesome. Looks like we're good to go. So now I have an automation running, but now we probably want to go into view and see what the heck I just set up. So you can see here, these are going to be both existing automations, and these are going to be audio only files again. I'm going to show a video file. Again, this is all going to look very similar and work exactly the same. It's just going to be the presence of video versus presence of purely audio. So I'll go ahead and click on that video project right here. And you can see I've added an intro, so I could go ahead and delete that really quickly. And then you can just very easily go ahead and add in your intro. So especially if you have a music file, or excuse me, if you have a video file for video podcasts, it's going to make a little bit more sense. It's going to help make it look more coherent. If you have an audio file that you're working with right here, audio file is great. So if you're doing a video project, upload video. If you're doing audio project, upload audio. Pretty straightforward in that regard. But this is kind of what Eddie looks like. So it reads and looks a lot like a Word doc. You can see it goes out and separates those speakers, makes everything super readable, really easy for you to find. But anything that you edit in here on this Word texty side will actually go ahead and clean the corresponding audio or video file. So you can see right here, we've got this stricken out. I can go ahead and kind of polish it, extend it out a little bit using that waveform, move her around. All right, go ahead and click update. And now that edit is actually going to be reflected in this actual video file as well. So conversely, say I want to just add it back in. Now it's added back into that video file as well. So if you want to ever just clean your transcript, but not necessarily clean your corresponding audio file or video file, here's a little mini hack. Go ahead and click on it. Click this little edit guy, click a little space bar, and click correct. It's technically in there still, but it's not cleaned from the audio file. Super weird workaround. If you have any feedback or you'd like to see us do something different, let us know. Email us, support@headliner.app, or DM us, find us on the internet. We will try and make it happen. But again, you get a really accurate transcript. So Eddie first go is probably going to be about 95% accurate. And then the more you work in Eddie, the better it gets. So it does kind of have that custom speaker library. So you can see here, my name specifically is spelled correctly. AI very rarely picks up that it's Elissa. I get the Alyssa spelling quite frequently. But Eddie's definitely learned that my name is not Alyssa, it's Elissa. So that's pretty cool for me personally. Saves me a lot of time whenever I am making our podcast edits or a transcript, what have you. Really super helpful for me. So again, since this is a video file, I like to use Eddie to find clips as well. So you can see here that you can kind of thumb through and toggle, very quickly read, click this little blue button right here, and it's actually going to create that podcast clip. So it's going to cut it, send it on over to our video tool where you can add and style captions, and we will run through that here in a second. But yeah, super awesome tool at your disposal. And then one kind of really cool thing that Eddie does is it gives you this podcast promo pack. So to access your promo pack, one of two ways: click the export button. You get this big old colorful button that it's kind of hard to miss. Or you can click on this little guy. You probably saw me click it earlier and exit out. Sorry if I just hit my mic. Exit out and made it kind of disappear. But you can view your promo pack. You get all of these lovely things branded to your show. So yeah, especially if you're looking to get up on the YouTube, I use the keywords. So you can see right here, it's use my transcript, and it's kind of pulled words that I said a lot, but also try to think more strategically. So things that I might want to target more broadly on search, they're going to be reflected here. So that's really saves me a lot of time. Personally, love this tool. It's probably my favorite thing that Eddie does, to be quite honest, as well as show notes. So you can see here, it's added the chapters in there for me. It's followed my formatting. It really does a great job of trying to kind of capture the tone in which Headliner's written in the past. So again, it looks at your RSS feed and says, okay, this is kind of the style in which they write. So it's roughly their formatting, and tries to iterate off of that. If you have a pro account, one really cool thing you can do is you can kind of interact with Eddie and adjust it. So say you want to shorten the length or lengthen the length, or change up kind of the formality, add in some personal things, like maybe I would never do this, but you can do it, add emojis. You can kind of regenerate it, and then Eddie's going to take that feedback, reprocess it, and try and make a better outcome for you. It typically takes like a minute or two, and we don't have that much time, so I'm going to actually kind of click out of this for right now, but it'll keep reprocessing in the background, so I'll be able to revisit it in the next go around. So that is Eddie. It's super easy. Yeah. One really cool thing, actually, I do want to show very, very quickly, specifically for our audio first creators. So especially if you've edited something kind of pre-publish, you probably want to have a full-length audiogram for it, would be my assumption, to get it up on YouTube. So you can really easily click export, and then for that specifically, you have your lovely audiogram button. And this will, again, pass you on over to the video creation tool and allow you to create a full-length captioned audiogram for YouTube, which is so awesome. And then, of course, you have all of the things from the podcast promo pack at your disposal to truly make an optimized YouTube video. So really great tool for podcasters looking to grow their podcasts specifically on YouTube, or just even get it up into your host as you've got your show notes and your keywords or your tags and all of the podcasting specific metadata that you need. But that is Eddie. I'm going to take a breath because I talk fast, and check and make sure that we don't have any questions. I don't see any, so I think we're good in that regard. So we went through Eddie and kind of working backwards from the agenda. The next step is going to be the audiogram. So if you are an audio first creator, or if you've been around for a while and you're like, I would love to get on YouTube, but I have 300 episodes in my back catalog. I don't have time to sit there and re-record all of these for video components to get it specifically on YouTube or to create clips of your episodes, what have you. We have a lot of really great tools for you, so you don't have to kind of start from grounds at point zero. I don't know. My brain isn't braining today. But you don't have to kind of start from the very back of that workflow. You can just kind of keep going, do what you want to do, especially if you want to make that transition into video. This is going to be a way to kind of support your back work without adding more work to you. So go ahead and click either of these flows. So I'll quickly explain these two buttons for you to kind of allow you to make the most informed decision possible. So manual audiograms, really easy if you are wanting to create clips, you have the exact timestamps that you want, or you want to create one-off full-length audiogram projects. That button is definitely for you. If you are the creator that you say, I have 300 episodes, I want to get them up onto YouTube, I know that's going to take a lot of time, this is going to be the flow for you. And again, these are both really similar in how they function. It's just kind of the goal in which you're going to want to end up with that's going to dictate which button you're going to click. But I'll walk through the automation button just because there are a few more levers that you have to pull in this flow to kind of get it to work in the best that it possibly can. So go ahead and click it. Step one, easy. And then you're going to go ahead and search for your podcast. So again, I'll use that test podcast so I don't process all of our hundreds of podcast episodes. I'll just process the one. So again, go ahead and select the language if you're going to want to have captions on your video and you want those captions to be as accurate as possible. Again, we support over 100 different languages, so go ahead and click the drop down, scroll through, find what you are. We are US English, so I'm going to leave it as is. Rock and roll with that. And at this point, you are going to want to select your destination in which you're going to want to set your automation up. So as you can see, we support all major social media platforms and YouTube, of course. We've got some requests for Blue Sky and I believe Mastodon. So those are, don't tell anybody, but those are coming very soon. But for this case, we'll go ahead and say that we're going to get this up for YouTube. And especially if you have a pro account, you can set up multiple automations. So I believe the Headliner actual podcast, we have like 7 automations running. So kind of insane. We're definitely a super user of our own product. But anyways, we'll go ahead and walk through that YouTube flow as there are just a few more levers that you're going to need to pull for YouTube versus these other accounts. Go ahead and click that. And then from here, you can kind of pick, okay, how long do I want this to be? So I am going to set up a full episode back catalog one. So I'm going to click that. But of course, you can click shorts, clips, kind of dictate the length a little bit. And now this is kind of another decision that you want to make. So if you know that everything's good, you don't need to really review a full episode likely, as you're like, hey, I'm probably comfortable with exactly what is in that file, then you can probably go ahead and just leave it at this auto post and let Headliner create the audiogram and just put it up on YouTube, add all the things for you. You don't really need to review it. Go ahead and do that. If you want to do a pretty heavy review process, or you say you want to maybe run some more tests on YouTube, you want to add thumbnail tests, transcription at the same time, I would personally go ahead and email those videos to you so you get them sent directly to your inbox, and then you can upload them to YouTube manually at your own leisure. That's going to, again, kind of affect what this next step looks like. But since I'm going to kind of show the most amount of work that you could potentially do, I'll go ahead and leave this auto post checked for now. And then you're going to need to connect to your YouTube account. So bear with me. Hopefully I remember my passwords, and this will be a smooth process. Awesome. It was a smooth process. So at this point, now there's obviously a couple of different things that you can do. So you'll start to see your YouTube metadata come into play here. So this is going to be all the default, but of course you can add some things. So just click edit. You can add some more things via script tagging. So these are things at your disposal. Say I don't want my podcast title in that. I want to protect my 100 characters. So go ahead and do that. and maybe add in a piece of evergreen right here. So hashtag headliner. So now all of my YouTube automations are going to have my episode title, the episode number, followed by the little hashtag headliner at the very end of it. So go ahead and click Save Changes. And then again, very similarly here, it's going to just kind of pull in the episode description, a link to your episode, which is really cool. And then you can, of course, add in a few more little things. I like to add in the little headliner shout out just because why not? Go ahead and click Save Changes. Make sure that I add it to my podcast playlist. It's super important. And if I'm comfortable with everything, I don't really need to review it and go ahead and send it to public. If I want to review it, but have headliner pass everything to YouTube, go ahead and put it as private or unlisted. Really easy ways to do that. Make sure I add in my category. I think we're educational, so I'll leave it as educational. Language. I think you can search. Ooh, maybe not. So you have to scroll. Hopefully I remember my alphabet. I feel like I passed what I need to pass. I did pass what I need to pass. Bear with me. Okay. No. E. There we go. Ooh, we're getting closer. There we go. US English. And then, of course, categories. These are going to be your tags and your host. We're going to see that in your metadata. Pull it through for you super easily. So go ahead and click Save Changes. And now you have all of this stuff optimized for YouTube. And Headliner is going to go ahead and once you click that button, then you can kind of click, okay, if you want your back catalog, we'll go through, process all of those hundreds and hundreds of videos, up to 3 per day. We just don't want your account to be flagged or spammed as spam. If you want that kind of that number bumped up so you get through it a little bit faster, shoot us an email and we can kind of manually do some stuff on our end. But this is just kind of the safest, especially if you're new to YouTube and you're ramping the account. We're just going to post 3 episodes per day. Keep your account super safe. Make sure that your account doesn't get flagged as anything. And keep rocking and rolling with your back catalog. So we'll do that. And then as you release new episodes, those will be added to the queue as well. But say you're like, I don't need to do that. Or, hey, maybe you just have one podcast episode out. You can just go ahead and click on this little future episodes guy, and it will do from your most recent episode on for as long as your podcast goes, which is hopefully forever. But I'll show you kind of the back catalog. And again, there's a couple more things that you can do. So I only have 1 episode in 1 season, so I'm a little unique. Say I just wanted to do it by season, I'd go ahead and click by season. And then if I had just season, like I had 30 seasons, say, and I just wanted season 2 done, you can go ahead and click season 2, and it'll go ahead and only process the podcast episodes that are in that season. But yeah, go ahead and click continue with that. And then if you are a design nerd like me, then this is your favorite part. So you get to kind of look at Headliner's templates and say, okay, I have a personal preference. I really like this one and this one. I'm going to go ahead and do this one today, though. I think I did the last one last time. But these are going to be some templates that are at your disposal. Of course, you can go ahead and kind of change them up, make them your own. So I love adding captions to all of my things. So you can go ahead and change the style if you are, again, on a pro account. So you can see we've got some lovely presets here for you. We've got some new ones, so it's super cool. This one's awesome. I think if you're doing like a murder mystery podcast, very specifically, or like maybe a sci-fi something, I love that font. Also, this one, I think it's super cool, super unique. I personally haven't really seen that anywhere. Also, I just think that font is super cool. But then you can kind of go through, make it a little bit bigger. Change out the colors if you want. I'm not going to change out the colors though. And at this time, unfortunately, you can't add any animations to your full-length episode captions. That is coming though. Just again, don't tell anybody, but that is coming. But again, you can kind of go through and toggle through all of these, make them your own, what have you. I think this one's super cool and I haven't used it before, so I'm going to leave it. And you can kind of, play around with it a little bit. Save changes. And that is your captions baked in. I also love to add the headliner watermark. So if your podcast has a watermark, I definitely recommend doing this. We're going to hope that I have the headliner logo somewhere in this computer. Oh, I do. Look at that. How convenient. Gonna want to shrink that guy down a little bit though. My heady icon's a little big there. But anyways, so that's my template. It's fun, I think. You can definitely change stuff up. So maybe I don't like that waveform. You can change it, change colors, what have you. But anyways, go ahead and preview your automation to make sure everything looks good to go. May take a second. And that is what your audiograms will look like. Yeah, I think that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and say it looks good. Now, personally, if I was actually doing this and setting this live to our YouTube, I'd probably pull this up and do that and go back to editing. But for time's sake, I'm going to say it looks good. And Headliner's going to say, okay, great. We're going to take that logic and we're going to apply it to the episode you told us to apply it to. And it'll just be a wonderful world. And yeah, that's that. So while that fake processes, because I don't really need to process that, it's just for show, that's how it would go. And then you would be able to kind of see this all in your projects. So everything that you've set up. So you can see here, I've got an automation rocking and rolling for our test podcast. Yeah, we can see it's going ahead. It's processing that video for me. So once it is actually ready, I'll be able to access it here and share it to the world. Yeah, super easy, super awesome. Okay, go back to Headliner. Okay, now say you are a video podcaster and you're like, I need clips for my video podcast. You have that ability. So we definitely showed how you can get up to 20 clips here in this transcript-based editor. We showed how you can do that for your audio first content, but say you're getting into video or you have video already, awesome. You can do stuff with that too. So click on this orange button and there are a few different levers that you can pull once again. So I personally prefer doing this flow. So the get multiple caption clips does exactly what it says. It allows you to get up to 10 different captioned clips or styled clips, however you want to phrase that, for your full length content. So really awesome tool for you to kind of batch create or just really make the most out of your account, in my opinion. Or you can do the single flow of just adding captions to a single video. So it's going to be great if you already have the timestamps or if you want to do a little bit of a longer clip. So say you have maybe a 10-minute clip that you want to go ahead and caption, you can totally do that. Just go ahead and click this click this flow. But again, I'm going to want to do that multiple caption clips flow for you right here. And then at this juncture, there's a lot of different levers that you can pull here. So you can connect automatically to your Google Drive account. This is going to allow you to, especially if you share, which we do personally share. You can obviously see here, we've got all sorts of stuff in here. You're allowed to automatically port that into Headliner and we'll pull that out for you. So you don't kind of have to worry about downloading, uploading, that whole thing. If you record in Zoom, you're going to be able to pull in those Zoom recordings for super easy video clipping and captioning. And if you have a YouTube account already, this is a really cool feature. You can literally go to YouTube and you're going to be able to share, you're going to be able to use the share URL to actually create and caption. I'm sorry, I'm watching two screens. This is getting clearly too much for my brain to process. You can clip and caption all of your content that's already been posted to YouTube. So you can see here, Headliner, we've got our podcast, and I want one of our video episodes, which I believe this is one of our video episodes. You can literally click the little share, copy that, and then drop it right here, and Headliner will go ahead and process that video for you. So that is a super easy, awesome way for you to not only repurpose your existing YouTube content, but also kind of further distill it out onto other social media platforms. So you can go ahead and went ahead and process that, go ahead and click next. And then depending on kind of how you want to use that clip. So specifically YouTube, typically that landscape, I want to convert it into say an Instagram reel. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to have to be locked into just posting to Instagram. You're going to get a unique share page for that project. It's going to just allow you to select that aspect ratio in which you're going to want to be posting to. So go ahead and click Instagram, click that reel to kind of lock in that formatting. And then you can see right here that it's pulled in a couple of things already here. So we've got our caption presets right here. And at this point, there's a lot of different things that you can do to style your videos. So regardless of which flow you went and entered, you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do. This is kind of like a preview, so you just get an idea of what elements you're being layered. Headliner, and we process the videos afterwards because we need to select the clips and everything. So this is not the representation that you want to really focus in on when you're doing. You just really want to focus on kind of that design elements. And you can see right here, even we kind of throw out like that little, hey, we know that this isn't exactly probably what you're looking for. We're going to process this video after you make all of those edits. Anyways, clicking the button that I clicked right here is this little effects guy, and it's going to allow you to either auto frame or blur your background. So depending on how you're formatting your video and what your goals are, this is kind of going to dictate what you want to do. So auto framing, it's going to put only the active speaker in that actual frame. So it will zoom in on their face, and then as it switches speakers, then it will zoom in on that person's face. So I always recommend leaving this on. I think kind of just makes for the nicest, cleanest looking video. Also, make sure that your screen is fully engaged for those people that are watching and engaging with your content on social media. If you do not want auto framing on, just toggle it off. And then you can see here, we've kind of made that adjustment. If you don't want your background blurred, you can turn that off, and then you can change this color up, what have you, kind of zoom out, which we clearly have a lot of people on that call. So it's kind of funny, old podcast episode that we're repurposing here. But yeah, so you can definitely do that. And then, like I said, you can change that background to, I like purple. So we'll go ahead and do that purple. Yeah, you can do that. The captions, you can definitely see that we have this default here. It's kind of already styled for you. It's got the karaoke on there, so it is a little bit more of kind of that statistically more engaging caption style. But if you don't like that, you can totally change it. Just click it, click edit. And then again, very similar to how we showed the captions for your full length audiogram episodes. Pretty similar style. The big thing I want to call out is, though, you can change the animations. So you can see here, the default is karaoke. We have so many things, though. This is all new, by the way. So we've got all of these different animations that you can really play around with. Just super cool, super fun. I like this pop one. I think it's cool. So I'll go ahead and leave that. Yeah, again, you can change styles. So say I think that's a little bit difficult for me to see. Maybe I want to turn on some shadowing. Yeah, there we go. I think that makes it a little bit more kind of visible on the screen as I have that purple background there. Then again, you can add in all sorts of things just to make it a little bit more styled. So I'll go ahead and click Get My Clips. And then Headliner is going ahead and now it's processing that video. And if I had auto framing down, it's going to be finding those active speakers, zooming in on them. And as this processes, you can kind of, which we don't need to process this video, so I'm fine with leaving that. However you want to see it. So you'll get an email reminder saying, hey, your clips are ready for your review, or you can just really access them in your Headliner account. Again, clicking that projects tab, and then you'll be able to kind of scroll and see the difference of what type of projects. So you can see right here, I've got an audiogram is dictated by the thumbnail. And right here, we've got some of the video clips. So I'll go ahead and click on see those clips. And at this point, you can kind of review or edit those clips however you would like. So you can see right here, this is a great example of the auto framing. So we'll try and find one that neither one of us talk for too long. Okay, this should switch pretty quickly. Bear with me. well, maybe that wasn't the best example, but you could go ahead and you could, ooh, gosh, I just clicked the button ahead of myself. You can go ahead and edit that stuff out. So say you want to kind of adjust the crop, you want to zoom out, make sure that both of us are in that frame, you can totally do that, or style the captions. With that, if you realize that there's these kind of grammatic disfluencies and you maybe want to edit those out of your captions, you have the ability to do that. This essentially ports in that transcript-based editor for you. So you can kind of, you see that I've already highlighted over that, removed it out. I can add it back in, delete it back out. So now it's going to start on the front of social. Can remove these pauses, make it a little bit more clean. And you see right here that headliner is saying, hey, you did something, so it's going to affect your clip. So once you've gone ahead and you've edited your clip out, make sure that your captions are going to be grammatically correct. There you go. I'm going to click update clip. Now we're going to reprocess that video for you. And then if you want to change the style of your captions, you can totally do that. And I do really want to quickly call out, this is the same review process for both the video and the audiogram capabilities. So right now we just have video over here, but you could very well have an audiogram here and it's going to work the exact same. But say you want to change like a design feature of it, you're going to click on that edit guy. Now it's going to kick you on over to our advanced editor. And this is where you can add all sorts of things. So you can layer in music, you could add more waveforms, you could add GIFs, you could add AI generated art, whatever you want to your heart's content. And that's going to be allowed in the advanced editor. Okay, I talked a lot. I'm going to review our little live stream, make sure that there's no questions. I don't see any questions as of yet. If you have them, please drop them. I'm here, I'm live. I want to be able to help you. While I have you here though, I'm going to keep talking. So I'll show you kind of one last thing that you can do here in Headliner that is personally, I think really cool, but yet an underrated feature here in Headliner. So we have this little analytics button, and anytime you have an automation running or you share something directly from Headliner to your social media account, and what I mean when I say that is you have your projects page, and you click share. Clicking this button is going to literally allow Headliner to just post it directly to your feed. So you can go ahead and post it, and you can kind of add in a caption. You can type it out for automation. So anything that we're going to actually have the transcript for, you can allow Headliner to generate captions for you. So that's a super cool, easy way, once again, for you to kind of save a lot of time. But anytime you click one of these buttons, share it to the platform from Headliner, that's where this data is going to start to come up. So we're going to kind of break it out for YouTube and then, of course, your social platforms. So you can see here, we're going to aggregate all of the views and the engagement metrics across social and across YouTube. And then you're going to kind of break them down at the video level. So you can see really quickly what's performing well. So, oh my gosh, we got this one. It got over 600 views on TikTok. That's awesome. So this one's even better. We've got a couple like in the thousands, super awesome. And these are all audiograms. So that's really, really cool to see that. And you can kind of filter if you want the first one that you did, it'll start there. Or if you want to just look at your more recent data, you can filter that up and see that as well. But yeah, that's a really cool thing that not a lot of people know about Headliner. But again, especially if you're trying to meet some goals, see some stuff, that's going to be really, really awesome for you to be able to just kind of quickly get a pulse and see, okay, what is the total impact that my social media presence and my YouTube presence is going to have? Yeah, it's really awesome. I love that feature. But okay, I think I got it. I do see some people in the chat. Hi. Thanks for joining. So glad that you're here. If you have any questions at this time, I would definitely recommend dropping them in. I kind of flew through everything that I had kind of planned out. And again, I talk really fast, so don't be afraid to kind of, just jump in and ask a question. While I'm kind of just riffing, I'll go ahead and pull this guy up right here as well. This is going to be how you get a hold of Headliner. So at the end of the stream, say you're like, I really want to learn more about that, but Elissa didn't talk about it enough. We're here. We're people. You can talk to us at any time. So scanning this QR code is going to take you up to our link tree. That'll take you to our website, all of our social media, because we have slightly different variations of @Headliner app for all of our socials. So this will be able to make sure that you can connect with us and follow us. Join our community on all of those platforms. It's also going to give you our emails in which you can contact us directly. So the best and fastest way to get a hold of us is going to be emailing us at support@headliner.app. It'll put you in touch with a real person, and it will make sure that we get your questions answered the best that we possibly can. We'll get you some live support help. So especially if you're new to Headliner and you're like, I don't even know where to start, shoot us an email. We would love to sit with you and help you through that process. That's all I've got for today. So if you have any questions, I would definitely drop them now before I start logging off or just start spamming randomness, and I'll just kind of wait until you're able to type out that full question. If you don't have any questions, I did my job. That's always good to hear. So I'll give myself a very self-centered and self-conceited pat on the back for that one. But again, if you have questions, go ahead and email us or find us on social media. That's really all I have. We are exploring different ways to kind of support the Headliner Power Hour. So TBD on if we will be having a YouTube live stream next week, but definitely check us out on social or our email content or just stay up to date on that. If you have any feedback, or if you're just like, hey, I would love to see this, let us know. Comment on the video or contact us again. You have all of our information there. Thank you so much, and apologies again for technical difficulties and the rain delay last week, the rain check for last week. It's been a crazy 7 years, and we are so excited to see what year 8 has in store. As always, thank you so much for joining us and being part of the Headliner community, and happy podcasting.